This could be my favorite cup. It's not too heavy and it fits nicely in my grip. And the edge is round, but still thin. It's a nice cup. But if it broke, I would throw it away. Come. Hey Shane. So this is Brownie and Clara. Can they see you? Can they see you? Come. 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 Du ska få mat, okay? This is Brownie. I love her. She's such a social cat and she never scratches me. Come. And because I love her, I sometimes give her turkey slices because she likes them, even though turkey slices are expensive. If one of my cats would get sick, I would take them to the vet. Objectification means viewing a person like a function or an object, like the teacup. Love means seeing a person and a being, like my cat. In toxic relationships, objectification plays a twisted role, but it's not as clear-cut as you may think. And you may even need to use it yourself as a tool. I'm Emma, a medical doctor and abuse survivor. Let's get into it. Not only toxic people objectify. I just showed you that I love my cat, but I've also objectified animals. Years ago, I did medical research, and that involved injecting mice or rats with different substances, operating on them, and in the end of the experiment, we killed the animals to examine their brains under a microscope. In the beginning, it was difficult, but I quickly went numb. That's how objectification works. It lets you shut down empathy so that you can function. And it's not just animals. In medicine, we objectify humans as well. In surgery, once the patient is under anesthesia, I stop seeing a person and I start seeing a body, a machine that we need to help repair. And I use objectification in my daily consultations as well. I shift back and forth. First, connect and empathize, but when I examine, I need to see the body as an object to be able to assess it and do my work. So, do you objectify? Think closely. If you hear that a violent criminal is on the run, do you feel empathy for him? Or do you just want the police to catch him? When you pay for a massage, do you think about the therapist's sore shoulders? Or do you just want to relax and get what you paid for? The key is shifting. Objectification is not always bad. The danger is when we get stuck in it. We have to also be able to empathize, connect, and care, because objectification can't coexist with intimacy. So what happens when someone sees their partner only as a teacup? Nice bum, great neck massage. She's a good cook. Maintenance needs, listen for 5 minutes, peck on the cheek, and I'm done. But if the cup starts to need something real, like comfort, for me to listen to it, or it has its own opinions, that's inconvenient. This is when the narcissistic or toxic person rages or sulks or punishes you. Because in their mind, their partner's needs and desires isn't real. For them, people are tools for sex, status, money, for chores. And if you stop giving that to them, if you burn out, if you express needs, or even if you stop looking the way you used to, they discard you. That's the heartbreak of being objectified. You can give for years, sacrifice yourself. And when you need some help or care, there is nothing for you, only emptiness. And there's a deeper problem. If someone sees you as a cup, you can't have a real relationship with them. A cup doesn't get comforted. It doesn't get mended if it's cracked, and it doesn't get filled up. It only gets picked up and used when someone has use of it. So when you're drained, hurting, or in need of care, instead of feeling tender towards you, they get irritated, dismissive, even angry. Because in their mind, your role is to give. And the moment you can't pour anymore, you stop existing for them as a partner. Have you ever felt that? That someone treated you as a teacup? You poured out for them for years, but when you were hurt, you weren't even worth mending. Drop a cup in the comments, just a cup, and I will know what you mean. But here's a twist. Objectification in itself isn't the problem. And it can even be used sometimes to protect yourself. Here's where strategic objectification comes in. But first, let me explain something else. Objectification itself isn't the worst part of toxicity. There are people who have difficulties empathize with others. Autistic or neurodivergent people, for example, can have a hard time understanding how someone else feels. But the difference is when you not only disregard their feelings, but also lie, manipulate, and exploit others. When you take from them to fuel your own needs, hurting them in the process. That's the difference between a person who struggles socially and a person who knowingly treats you like a disposable cup. Strategic objectification can actually help you. After you realize that you're in a relationship with a toxic person, often you don't leave right away. There is a phase where you have to detach, come to acceptance that they will never change, and where you have to prepare yourself to leave and plan for your exit. And during this phase, strategic objectification, I nailed it, can come in. I got so excited that I just lost my thread. So when you use strategic objectification, you stop seeing them as a person and you stop tuning into them empathically. Instead, you view them as a hologram, obnoxious, selfish, and demanding, but not the real person. The aim of this is not to manipulate them, it's to protect yourself. And it's also to give you the ability to detach and observe their behavior. You can even study them like a scientist. Watch for their triggers and observe their patterns, how it repeats itself. how they go back and forth in the abusive cycle, and how they demand things of you that they could never live up to themselves. This helps you detach, protect yourself emotionally, and it also gives you valuable insights that you may need after the separation is a fact. But, and this is important, you don't want to see all other people like this. Strategic objectification is a survival tool, not a way of life. Because real connection, a real intimacy, happens when you connect with people and you're both interested in getting to know the other person and interested in their points of views and how they are feeling. And that's the kind of relationship that is worth building. That's the kind of relationships that are waiting for you after you get out of the grip and heal after the toxic person. If this video brought you clarity, I would recommend that you take a look at this video. It's about how to spot and break a trauma bond. I'm Emma, holding up a light over the bridge. See you in the next video.